Hello Middle 3. Today we're talking about one of the grammar lessons in the Aim High book, which is modal verbs. If we have a quick look on this list, we have many modal verbs. Modal verbs are special type of verbs which give different meanings. So each modal verb works according to a function. For example, if you look at the first verb, can shows ability, suggestion, and request. And this, of course, according to the sentence. For example, he can find in a street in London. This is an ability which shows a mental process or knowledge. You can take a taxi. This is a suggestion. I'm giving an idea. But if you look at the third example, can you take me to Victoria Station? This is a request. I'm asking for information. Be able to is another alternative for can when we talk about ability. He's able to find in a street in London. And the negative form is can't. But can't here in the example show impossible action, which is not possible to happen. That story can't be true. So I'm sure it's not true, which is another usage of the modal verb can. Could shows the past, but also it shows special functions like request and suggestions, especially in formal situations. If I look at the first example, I could play tennis when I was younger. This is an ability, something I was able to do in the past. But in the following two examples, could you take me to Victoria Station? This is a request, and it's more polite than can. You also use could for suggestions. You could take a taxi. It's a good idea to take a taxi. Let's move to other modal verbs like may, might, and must. May for possibility, which is a less degree than will. If I say I will go to school tomorrow, this is a high possibility. This is more possible than may. It may be quicker to travel by train. This is a less possibility than will. May I come in? This is formal request or asking for permission. Might, less than may, so we have degrees of possibility, will, starting from will and ending with might. It might be quicker to travel by train, so I'm not sure. Must, for obligation and something I'm certain of. You must be back at 10 o'clock. This is an obligation, like the rule of the class. Look at the snow. It must be a cold weather, or it must be cold outside. I'm sure of it. And this is what we call deduction. You're sure of something based on information. Look at the snow. This is like an evidence. It must be cold outside. Have to, need to, and needn't. Have to for obligation, but this is more personal or inner obligation. You have to be back at 10 o'clock. Need to for another form of obligation. You need to study a lot. Needn't plus bare infinitive without to. You needn't have a university degree. This is lack of obligation. You don't need to do this. But needn't have shows or refers to the past more than the present. Mustn't for prohibition or something that is forbidden or not allowed at all because of religion or law. You mustn't drive without a license, so you are not allowed at all. Don't have to for lack of obligation in the present. Should for opinion or advice. Ought to for opinion or advice. If you look at the examples, you don't have to call a taxi. This is lack of obligation, as I told you. Should, for opinion or advice, you should drive more carefully. You can take it or leave it. Ought to, you ought to drive more carefully, which is more spoken, and we use it also for opinion or advice. You can also use this slide to clarify the points. Can, for making requests, can I borrow your dictionary? This is a request. So modal verbs are used to give different meanings based on function. For ability, you can use can, as I told you, am, is, are, able to, plus infinitive, could or was, were, able to, plus infinitive. For lack of ability, use can't, am not, isn't, aren't able to, plus infinitive. Couldn't, wasn't, weren't able to, plus infinitive. Can or could can be used for permission. Can I open the window? This is I'm asking for. Can I come late? This is asking for permission. You can come late. You can open the window. I'm giving permission. You can't open the window. You can't come to class without your uniform. Couldn't. So there is no permission given. He couldn't come late without the teacher's permission. So the permission is not. Must, for, as I told you, for strong advice, for instructions, for obligations and necessity. Mustn't means it's prohibited, forbidden, or a dangerous situation. We can use must for deduction, or what we call guessing based on information. Sure happen, sure is happening, sure will happen. So must can be for deduction or guessing in the present or the future. Can't, sure it does not happen or is not happening. Sure of a negative fact. The difference between needn't and didn't need to. Needn't equal don't need to or doesn't need to. So this means I don't do the verb or action as I know it's not necessary. You needn't go to the supermarket because we have everything in the fridge or in the kitchen. So I do not do the action as I know it's not necessary. But if you did not know that the action was done or the action was not important and you have already done it, so you use the past. Didn't need to or needn't have done. Then this will be clear in the following exercise. You can use, in this exercise, you can use can, can't, could, couldn't, must, or mustn't. For the first sentence, she is a small baby. She eat meat, but she drink milk. Here you have two gaps to fill. She is a small baby. She dots eat meat. So is she able to eat meat? No. So I should use she can't eat meat, right? But she can drink milk. She can't eat meat, but she can drink milk. Okay, great. So this is a physical ability in the present, not in the past. Number two, he is so ill that he see the doctor. That he must, because it's a dangerous situation. He's so ill, so he feels obliged, or there is no option to see the doctor or not. He must see the doctor. Number three, it's raining heavily. You take your own umbrella. You must take your own umbrella. Is it a law or something serious? No, but it's a strong advice. It's a kind of a strong advice. Instead of saying should, you can use must for strong advice. So in number 3, it's raining heavily. You must take your umbrella, your own umbrella. 4, we pick the flowers in the park. It's forbidden. The word forbidden here is a key word for, yes, mustn't. We mustn't pick the flowers in the park because it's forbidden. 5, I sing now, but I sing very well when I was a child. Here, the key words are now and when I was. So I'm comparing the present to the past. I can sing now, but I couldn't or can't. I couldn't, right, because I'm talking about the past. Inability, something I was not able to do in the past. I couldn't sing very well. Number 6, Mike is only 9 months old. He eat nuts yet. Here we're talking about the present situation. He can't eat nuts yet because he's only 9 months old. 7, he is very fat. He runs so fast. He's very fat. He can't run so fast. The previous situation is present. Number 8, you are speaking very quickly. I can't understand, mustn't understand, or I couldn't understand. Sure, I can't understand you because it's a present situation. I can't use couldn't. Number 9, I'm very tall, so I play basketball. I can play basketball. Very good. So I can play basketball because it's a physical ability. 10, you park that car there. It's a no parking zone. No parking. So must or mustn't? Yes, mustn't park that car there. That's against the law. There is a notice, a no parking notice. 11, many students in Great Britain wear a uniform when they go to school. It's a school rule, so many students must wear. Number 12, George has traveled a lot. He speaks 4 languages. Has traveled a lot. So he can speak 4 languages. He's able to do it. Number 13, I come with you now because I'm studying for my test. So I'm busy now. Can I come with you? No, I can't come with you. I'm not able. 14, footballers touch the ball with their hands. Footballers can't. They are not allowed. Or if you want to make it stronger, you can say mustn't touch the ball. 15, I use your phone. This is a question. It's a request, a polite request. If you want to make it more formal, you can say could I use, or can I use, less formal. Great. If I have may, I can use it. May I use your phone? The 3 answers are right, but with degrees of formality. 16, I'm sorry, I come yesterday. I had to work late. I'm sorry, I come yesterday. I'm talking about a past situation. I could come yesterday, or I couldn't come yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm apologizing for not doing an action. I couldn't come yesterday. I had to work late. I couldn't come to the party or an event or whatever, or the wedding. 17, you speed through the city. It's dangerous. So for dangerous situation, remember, use mustn't. You mustn't speed. Something related to your health or safety. 18, my hands are dirty. I wash them. I must wash them because it's related to your health. You have been coughing a lot recently. You smoke so much. You can't, you mustn't, or you must. Here, this question is tricky because you are guessing something based on the previous sentence. So you must smoke. I'm sure you smoke a lot because you have been coughing a lot recently. Again, in number 19, here we have facts, and we based the deduction or the guessing on this previous piece of fact. So you must smoke much. I'm sure it's true. You must smoke much. Of course, I must here is not an advice. Thank you.